Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tanya June Moore. This is the 25th anniversary of the Sedona International Film Festival. Special thanks to Black Magic Design, Digitech, and the Sedona Rouge for sponsoring the media room this year. And I have another great filmmaker in the seat. Please introduce yourself and your film.
My name is Gang Wang. I go by Garfield. I wrote and directed this short film called Man in Focus. It's about a young man who finds and reports an explosive backpack to the police, and later the media label him as a suspect, and he has to prove his innocence.
Yeah, so I remember this story. This is based loosely on a true story that happened here, right?
It's inspired by true events in the 90s in the States. Basically, a security guard found a backpack which turned out to be an explosive backpack. He reported that, and later the media, I think it's either the FBI or the police, they needed a suspect, and so they raided his house, and the media was like, okay, is it possible that this guy is the suspect? And they're just rushing to judgment based on incomplete information, which almost ruined his life. Mm-hmm. And it turned out he's not the suspect, he's the hero, but nobody remembered him as the hero. They just remembered that, okay, there is that suspicious guy.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's watch the trailer and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
If I were to go back to that night, I would do the same thing.
Where is it?
Over there.
Anyone in the church? We'll find out. Get everybody out of here.
SIFF confirmed that they have defused the pressure cooker bomb by Arlington Church.
He had history with the church, so we had to investigate him.
Now, we don't have the full details yet. Apparently, Aaron Rockwell has become the focus of the bombing. Mr. Rockwell!
So we were talking before we came on air, and I was saying how I remembered the story, and how unfortunate it is that we remember this gentleman as being labeled as something that he wasn't.
Yeah.
What ended up happening to him?
So he eventually became a deputy, which was good for him. And the real suspect was found 5 years after the incident, and he's been the real bomber was hiding in the wood all the time.
Right, but he did get a settlement.
Oh yeah, he did.
And but he passed away really young, right?
When he was about 47 years old.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that this is for me, it's a story of how we jump to conclusions so quickly.
Yeah.
We want a scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
What was your intention in this film to put across for everyone?
I want to raise awareness of the damage the public opinions can do to an individual. The two things that inspired me. The first thing is because I'm from a small province in China, which is not so developed compared to bigger cities. So sometimes when I go to bigger cities, and some people, not all of them, they would assume that this person from this province is a thief because I see this. He's from this province, and they're just rushing to judgment. They don't care who you are. And the second thing is an incident that happened in China about over 10 years ago. So basically, a young man was getting off a bus, an old woman was trying to get on a bus, and the old woman fell, and the young man took the old woman to the hospital. Then the old woman sued the young man. And everybody was like, okay, so you can't be a good Samaritan, you can face lawsuits, blah, blah, blah. 10 years later, and when we see more evidence, turned out that young man did accidentally knock down the old woman. Oh. But nobody cared about the fact anymore because it happened over 10 years ago. Mm. And the media and the public opinion, everybody was like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be a good Samaritan, which it's not good. Yeah, these two things really make me mad.
Yeah, I would think. Well, and do you think social media has added to the speed of people drawing judgment so quickly?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good that we have media, we have social media, so we can expose things that we couldn't expose before. But I just feel like maybe we should we shouldn't rush to judgment like so quickly or based on incomplete information or just because we're mad. And so we want to tell everybody that this is right and this is wrong, although we don't have any evidence to back our theories.
Right, and it does seem like the speed of things along very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
How was it getting the phone call from Pat that you made it into this film festival?
I couldn't believe it because I always wanted to visit Arizona because it's so different and it's so unique. I've seen Arizona in a lot of movies. And now that I've been here, I'm like, okay, this is a dream come true.
Yeah. How do you like Sedona so far?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I know this is a little bit cliche, and I mentioned this, but I like that there isn't a lot of people on traffic here. It's like I came directly from LA.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And the people here are very nice, believe me.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We call this the Filmmakers Festival. We want you to feel welcome and special.
Yeah.
We hope we're doing that for you.
Of course.
Where can people keep up with you and your movie?
Right now we have a website. We're also trying to bring back our Facebook because I haven't used the Facebook for a while. I think the Facebook page was taken down. Yeah, but we'll put it up as soon as possible. Yeah.
And what's the distribution like on this film?
Because like I did this short film when I was in film school, so we haven't thought about distribution yet. We might release it either on Vimeo or YouTube so that more people can see it, and so we can have more discussions about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that you brought this film to us. I'm glad that we got to see it here, and I hope that you do well at your screeners.
You. Yeah.
You've already screened?
Oh yeah, I did one screening last night. I think there should be one more screening in a few days.
Okay, and how did it go last night?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
All right. Good to know. I'm glad that it's going well for you. We're sad to see you go today, go back to work, the grind. But we want your film to do really well.
Sure.
And we want to say thank you for
being
here with us.
Yeah.
And we will catch you with another filmmaker in the seat very shortly, so stay tuned.